Luckily, I know all the back streets on PSN and I started.
All right, good evening, everybody.
That's
Uh,
important.
Time is,
Unless they make a moratorium on developing.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not.
so we're
No,
gonna,
I'm
Never get better. It's only
we're
gonna
gonna start the meeting. Time is 6:04. Call to order, Blasting Advisory Board for February 12th. Take, roll call.
Yeah, so let's go ahead, Stephen Hertzberg, John Schrader,
Francesca Ortega.
Rudy Blanco.
Miguel Martinez.
All right, we have.
So we have-
Well,
All right, excellent. So, item number 3, order of business, any deferrals, additions, or deletions?
I'll just add, I didn't get the opportunity because I didn't see the agenda till today. I forgot to send the minutes. I'll send them to Kyle tonight and so we can get them on the next
right.
meeting.
Okay,
So you can go through that. I'll get them. figured out.
Okay. so, number 4, public comments. Anybody like to say anything?
I want to be on the record to say thank you and how much I admire all of you and appreciate the work that you do. I mean, this community owes you a great debt, that you will never get the pay that you deserve for this. Thank you so much, really.
Thank you.
That's what I
Thank you.
wanted to say.
Appreciate it.
Much appreciated.
Yes, ma'am.
Real quick again, thank you for being there. The meeting was very early, 8 o'clock, right?
Yes, very early.
Yeah, I got to the office and then they told me that I didn't see it. When was it? So I got a link from Tony Hernandez. So if anybody wants to listen to it, it's a very long one. So if you don't have it, I can forward it to you.
The meeting
The
itself?
committee meeting.
Yeah, we've shared the video of it, so.
I think I shared it.
You had sent it to me also,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Want a copy on.
Welcome.
No.
Oh, I'll say to you, welcome.
Thank you.
Care to make any comments or any statements? And
This is Patricia Laura from City of Miramar Blasting Board. I want to thank Miguel. He's attended our meetings, like I stated, and I've come to several of these meetings too. I know most of all the gentlemen. And so we've been working in conjunction and I'm grateful for the trip to Tallahassee. And I'm really excited to hear what the updates were and where we're at least trying to see if we can make some progress on both the Dade and Broward side. Because as Miguel knows my story, I lived in PSN, like I just said to you all, and imagine I was in Dade County since I was a kid. Imagine when I moved over to Broward County and I go to Miramar and 2 days after I closed down my house started shaking.
Oh.
I wanted to I started crying.
Yeah.
I started crying because I thought being in Broward, I was getting out of it. Now, if I got one more exit on 75 to Pembroke Pines, I wouldn't be dealing with it. That's how close it is, but our communities are right in front.
Incredible.
Yeah, so it was pretty devastating to see that I would still be dealing with this issue. And I'm continuing to deal with it and trying to do whatever I can. We have our mayor too. Our mayor was the one that actually created the original blasting advisory board. And then Miami Lakes.
Yeah, we've met him.
Mayor met him, yeah. He usually sends, if he's not here, he usually sends his assistant. And because in the city of Miramar, they stopped dynamite blasting in the year 2000. So it's not even allowed.
sir, go ahead and you have the floor.
Happy to be here. So watching the video in Tallahassee was, I cannot even begin to tell you how confusing it got at times, because it looked like you were having some sort of struggle with presentations. It looked like there was really no help. You even said, can somebody come in? And it felt really, really awkward. Now I'm at home taking screenshots, trying to capture the whole of it. And then Stephen goes and starts speaking about the rights of property owners. And I was so proud. I wanted to somehow correct you and go, finally, because what is the difference between having a home built before or after when they are blasting our homes and they're destroying property? How can you be in an industry that you're selling the aggregates to build my home to then go and blast in order to destroy my purchase of the home? So the whole thing was just so, you know what I mean? Like, and your words were like right on target, but it's just like, I would like to understand what it is you were experiencing, because we could see everything that we wanted, but what exactly did happen?
I would say that first we were.
We have, it's item number 7A.
Oh, we're We're on hold.
Get out of here, so.
Anything else? Nothing? No, okay.
Believe me, you'll hear me if I want to say something.
The adoption of minutes, they said we're gonna bring in
I would, I guess, move to defer to the
Okay.
next.
well, second. All in favor on it?
Aye.
Going into old business, item number 6. Response to Julie Jones, John Gatlin. I sent the email, response to John Gatlin. I think it was appropriate, still a bit strong, but proper. And we set the record straight of what has been transpiring. John Gatlin's response to, we had sent them an email and inquiring about a particular blast date that exceeded legal limits. However, it's not enforced because it's outside the UDB boundary. The response, they kind of beat around the bush and then talked about a different date of occurrence, not what we asked. So I was at a loss, and Stephen then penned a letter, which we had versions of editing. I
Right.
combined our edits.
Oh, you got that, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna-
I had some of what you had.
Yeah, because I sent.
Yeah, any changes were put in and then, you know, to. I
So
think
does
you fixed
everybody
some.
understand what
There's some grammar errors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you understand what UDB means? Oh, okay, what UDB, because you guys speak in
Urban
acronyms and
boundary,
everybody's like.
Urban development boundary. Urban development boundary. So in Miami-Dade County, they decided on this boundary, this line, imaginary line, basically Chrome Avenue, think of Chrome Avenue. Anything to the east of Chrome Avenue can be developed. Anything west of Chrome Avenue does not. And it goes by density. So the CFO, in their infinite wisdom, decided that enforcement will only occur anything that's within the UDB. And these mines are actually, in fact, just outside the UDB. I mean, literally, the UDB boundary is their west or east side of their property. So since they occur outside the UDB, it's fine. The major problems happening, which is what we brought to their attention, is that they blasted at 0.7 beyond the legal limit. And Miramar is 700 feet from the blast site, $1 million homes. Sunset Lakes, very expensive community, very exclusive community. Were. So what are you gonna do about it? Was our question. And then in response, they said, well, that was in September, I think, around the exact date. And, well, October had this. You're saying October? So we wrote back strong, again, Stephen, credible writer, author, and Rudy and I edited it a bit and submitted.
Yep.
They haven't replied to that, but that's what that's about. So you understand. The caveat of the UDB boundary allows them to do what they're doing. Since it's outside the UDB, no, the energy doesn't stop. It's hitting everybody's home on the other side of the UDB or within it. So it's a major issue.
There should be a way to add a little addendum that if it's outside the boundary, but has effect of things in the
That's for
boundary,
Reese's bill. That's exactly for Reese's bill. For Reese's bill, doesn't matter where the boundary is, it's a distance. That's it. And that's fair. Senator Garcia's resolution, for those that aren't aware, Senator Garcia put a resolution to have the county support this bill, including having the county's lobbyists act on favorably for this bill. So now the county's putting assets that it has in Tallahassee on our behalf, that's huge. However, apparently it was discovered that some of the commissioners were going to fight this resolution. So in a chess move, Garcia removed the resolution. And then put forward a motion with the meat of the resolution only. So that if it's a resolution, if it's a motion, it just has to be second. It was second and passed. So what we needed from this resolution was done. In that, and part of the language was that they had the lobbyists meet with us to get a bit informed, get a little educated. And that happened thanks to Hope endeavors on that. It happened. So Garcia created a virtual meeting. What do you call it? Stephen and I were there. You weren't in that
I
one.
was-
You were in,
In the renegotiating.
right. No. The virtual meeting we had after.
No.
So we had a virtual meeting with the county's lobbyists. And we gave them a brief overview, similar to what I provided, Mayor, Christie Fraga. That gives an overview of what we're experiencing, so you understand what's happening and the significance of lowering this value.
Oh, yeah, my phone, but. Yeah.
Right. So whether it fell on deaf ears or not, it didn't appear. However, when we went to Tallahassee, the county's lobbyist was waiting for us at the workshop and grabbed us and pulled us in.
Yes.
Just.
So he was there, he understood, and he was able to assist. So it was a good thing. 6C, Mayor Kava's response, I actually was able to finally submit that. I had written it, 5 hours of writing, and it disappeared. So I wrote it again, I rewrote it last night.
Well, he wrote it, says, did you get this email? I go, what email?
Yeah. It disappeared, I don't know what happened.
Write it one more time.
But I rewrote it last night and I went through the points that we had previously made and against the items that Kava had presented to us in her findings. And this addressed item by item what she was advised and it was erroneous. And so I was able to provide the evidence of that item by item, take it back, including a matter of opinion of filing an injunction to the state for the lack of the negligence of the CFO not protecting us. So let's see how that is received. I don't know. I haven't had a response either. So the HOAs, we've talked about item number D, about going to the HOAs. I guess that.
Next Tuesday is our HOA meeting,
What's that?
next Tuesday. So just in case anyone
Oh,
wants to
it's
go.
at the same
It's at
time,
7:30, Mary Collins Community Center.
same time as the council. meeting.
So
Council meets tomorrow.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry.
Tomorrow.
I sent
Tomorrow's the
you
13th.
I sent you the times.
no, next Tuesday. Next week.
Oh,
I should have-
yeah.
Next week. I sent it to you.
Oh,
You didn't go
no,
there?
from, it took before we went.
I sent you two.
Yeah. So it's something. Francesca taking the lead of expanding the reach of what this body does. So. Going to item number 7, new business.
Oh, Miguel, I'm sorry, this is Patricia, before you go on. So as far as the HOAs in Broward County, what is it that you are doing right now that you're in Dade County?
HOA periods, wherever an affected community is. Similar, I've done, and already, I've done myself. To present, the facts to these communities, so there's awareness what's going on. The minimum is to know that the Miami-Dade pilot program exists and complaints can be filed.
Okay, can you do me a favor and send me some key points and I'll present it because I'm on my HOAs also. And I know much of all the people, in the HOAs.
Which community are you in?
I'm Nautica. I also
Okay.
have people in Riviera Isles
Because I've been in contact with Riviera and Sunset Falls.
and Sunset,
Lake.
Sunset Lakes. Yeah, Sunset
so
Falls.
We
Yes.
share to them like our media kit. that
Oh,
has, like,
okay.
A flyer, a QR code with more information and I can share that with you.
Yeah, if you can send it to me directly.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm on my master board and the sub association. We have a
Okay.
master and 2 subs.
So one of the main and very important goal is spreading the awareness of the compliance, right? So the HOAs emailing.
Oh, well, we're aware of that.
Right.
We do the email blast emails
Okay.
to all the residents of Nautica.
Okay.
We'll sit there and periodically send an email blast. But we can also put it on an agenda
Okay.
for a specific
Right.
meeting and then announce that agenda ahead of time.
At least it's the same.
So that maybe we can get in
Yeah.
that particular
I
meeting.
only put up for those who have your email address.
Yeah, so do the physical.
And the idea would be to, we could work some sort of short presentation, inform them. Hopefully, it's well intended, inform them what's going on and what people can do to try to help.
Yeah, I don't think, Miguel, you haven't come to ours yet, have you?
I don't think not tonight.
No, I don't think so. And have you gone to Riviera Isles?
We haven't started at all, but I haven't.
Okay, because there's a guy coming tonight who lives in Riviera Isles and he used to be on their board. And he's part of our Blessing Gift, George, yeah. So that would be a good person then to also set that up for Riviera Isles, because they're a big community.
Right.
And then I have somebody that lives in Sunset Falls that also is part of our Nautica board. Yeah, we're all interconnected, basically. So I have all the contacts for the HOAs.
All right. So
So,
then, if you can get in contact then with Francesca,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She asked me for my email, so yeah. We can definitely.
Who stapled this?
what's that?
Who stapled this?
That'd be.
Are you left-handed or something? I'm like reading your. George, all of a sudden.
Yeah, no, L-I-N.
So on,
Lucy. Okay. Lean Lucy, 222 at Gmail.
just so you guys understand what transpired. It was, the intent, it was not intent, it was expected
Lean.
that this workshop would occur, a hearing would occur the week prior. And didn't get it on the agenda. Rep Tyler Soroy had advised Rudy and I that he was gonna do everything possible to put this bill on his agenda. And when he does, we have a hearing. Where the public can go and testify to the committee and inform them. For whatever reason, I don't know the logistics of what occurred. The hearing converted into a workshop. And as a workshop, then it allowed, we had several members to present. So Stephen and I went and we presented. We kind of had, we met, or we combined our thoughts and split then the information up, and that's what created the two presentations. The data that was provided at Steve's portion came from the CFO themselves. And I took the data, it's a spreadsheet, and I divided it by how many companies there are by each company, and then sorted it by their blast intensity to see what are they blasting at compared to the bill. And it turns out, you saw the list there, one company blasts 100% below the proposed bill. No complaints ever received from them. Another one was very close, the other two are very close to the proposed bill, 100%, 99 and 95% of the blasts are there or below. And then there was CMEX and White Rock, who are astronomical all over the place, but 50% of their blasts are equaling the proposed bill. That means you could do it. It's the Mike Tyson punch blast that we can afford to do without. And that's what they need to get the gist of it. So what happens is I don't want to say it discredits what they're doing, but it reiterates what we're stating. You can operate, you can do this. It's not a matter that we can't. Yes, you can, because you're doing it.
Yeah.
And we use their own data against that. So when I went up to speak, I had submitted you have to submit whatever you're gonna present 24 hours in advance. And for some reason, my presentation was too large to email.
Oh.
So I split it in half and sent it through email. They then replied, "We got your email." And they had Stevens and mine. I said, "No, there's 3 parts, because mine is 2 parts. Oh no, we only got 1 of yours." So I took the third part, divided it in half again and submitted. They said they got it. Okay. I said, "I'm gonna bring them all together on my thumb drive, so we can just plug it in and we're good." There was a huge line for security to get into the building, to the Capitol, that made us late. Or,
Right on time.
right, yeah, exactly the exact time.
Yeah, because it started exactly at 8.
And we're literally running inside, and I learned all the people in that lobby were the people from the miners. So when we got there, the lobby was packed with people, and that's when the county's lobby is Miguel, come with me, it's it. And it just whisked us in. So it was one of those whirlwind things. They're already taking roll call when we walked in, they had started the meeting already. I went, when the lobby, the miners went first, presented their information, but the information that they presented was truthful in what they presented. However, it was not complete.
Uh-huh.
So they only selected items, obviously, that make them look good. That's one of the problems that is presented. And if you don't know the whole story, you don't know what they're doing, because they're doing everything proper, is what they're showing. They've had presentations from a representative from FDOT, from the mining industry, it's the president or the vice president of Geosonics, which is the engineering that's signing all the reports.
I think it's important. He used to work for FDOT. He's from like the Florida Builders Association. It's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he said he's not a spokesperson for
Ah, that's
FDOT.
not
I
what's
don't
on
know.
there.
That's what they announced.
Very, I think the representative stated it a few times. but
Yeah.
He corrected them. He is from, you can get it, I can look.
No, I haven't.
Florida Builders Association, I believe. He used to work for FDOT, and he made that clear, so he has some more credibility behind him. But no way is FDOT involved.
And he said, I'm not a
That makes
spokesperson, so
sense.
then I wanna make sure that you're.
That didn't make sense.
That would have been very different.
Yeah.
It was not FDOT, it was a very important, very large, very powerful association in Tallahassee, which he, is one of their representatives. I don't know what exactly, I forgot his role, but he works for that association.
Okay.
It's a Florida Builders Association. I think that
Right.
might have been it. I
Right.
forgot exactly.
Yeah.
All I know is when I remember when I saw who he's from, I was like, okay, well, this is a heavy hitting association in Tallahassee.
And the last thing was Hague Engineering.
Correct.
As the structural forensic consultant engineers.
Correct.
A very large firm, and the information he provided also not proper, which I used it against them. Unfortunately, when I went to speak, my presentation was on a slide, my images weren't there, video. That's what happened. So needless to say, I was nervous to begin with, and when this came in, I asked for assistance from IT, and the IT gave me his back.
Oh, geez.
That's when I realized,
They looked at each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
that, I'm not gonna say what it looked like, but you know what I'm thinking.
Oh, you have it.
And there were two gentlemen, one that received my email and the one that handled the laptop, and neither of them responded.
Oh.
I said, okay, and that's when I turned, and if you look at my face, the head gets tilted, and
There he goes, he gets angry.
and I finished my presentation, and then they didn't finish. I continued my presentation, then they cut me off. As I started getting into the damaging, information. Your time's up, Evan. Thank you.
oh,
Well, the awkward thing is that the lady from the Florida, fire marshals, is 8 point something minutes, almost 9. Then the next person is 7 point something, whatever. Then the next person is close to 7. And then you guys were, I think at 5, they told you you're done, and you came in 4 point something. You were very good at timing. And then 1 minute, and when she's in the middle of speaking up, 1 minute, travel to Tallahassee 8 hours up and 8 hours back, and tell me that 1 minute makes any sense. It was just,
Yeah, we were specifically told we get 8 to 10 minutes, even all.
In the
at the beginning, that's what he said.
And even the last from Hague Engineering, he even said, oh, I thought I had 8 of them.
Yeah.
So it throws you off a little bit. For me, I'm used to that happening, right? That happens to me a lot in court or whatnot, so I'm able to figure it out. on the
Sure, when you
fly.
stopped at 4 point something, I go, oh, wow. this
Well,
guy is really.
the chairs.
He talks really fast too.
I guess, but the chair was there saying, hey, so once I saw him say that, I was like, all right, let me just go to my ending and that's it. And that, just like if I'm in court, the judge can say, hey, come to your conclusion. Okay, fine. Let me skip everything else and say the most important thing possible, which is, I hope what I did. Right. But it was, we were prepared for a little bit more time. And yes, I figured that would probably happen. The first presenters got more time, and then as things are taking a little bit longer, the chair wants to move his agenda. He had a very busy agenda with a lot of bills, so he starts cutting, people off. Unfortunately, that's what happened.
And the truth, understandably, it was a full agenda, and they added the workshop into it.
Correct.
And the workshop was an hour long.
An hour long,
For a 2-hour meeting, I'm,
To be very fair,
Yeah.
half of the time.
we were very pleased with the amount of time we were able to have some questions and answers. Would we have loved to have those extra 2 minutes on our presentations? Yes. But at the same time, an hour in a 3-hour meeting, we were not expecting an hour. We were not expecting to go first. We were very confident. we'd
Yes,
be
I thought it was
on the
last.
agenda.
Correct, you can see this, they were last.
We were all shaking.
That makes a big difference.
We were all hoping we would be there for a few hours.
Yes.
That didn't happen, which in retrospect is a good thing, because we were last, we probably got even less time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
They would have been
Yeah.
tired of listening.
so, yeah, I mean,
They weren't,
it could have gone better on the technical side,
Right.
and on having our full 8 minutes, but the chair did give us an hour.
So it's the good and bad of this is what transpired, and that's why if you look at our faces, all the expressions that we're going through, Tom was behind us, if you look at Tom's face, I thought it was hilarious, because
It was short of breath.
Yeah, well, Tom had to run from
Yes.
his committee at the check-in, which is actually where Vice Mayor Fernandez was, because that's where he just thought he should be. And Tom had to check in his committee, because he has to check in, he doesn't have excuse absence, and he had to run from one side of the Capitol to the other. To go ahead and.
Well, he's a
present
runner.
this.
it's good exercise.
I mean, it was.
He's got his steps in that.
It was something, and of course, the vice mayor was there and Councilwoman Morano also, they both changed their schedules to make it up there to speak as well, so, I mean.
And both drove up.
Yes,
Yeah.
they both drove.
Oh my God.
That's 8 hours,
The
oh my
professor
8 hours.
went also to speak.
And they were not allowed to.
That's,
Well, he didn't realize he had to fill out a card to speak,
1 minute.
and so he did get to speak. So, I mean, I felt bad for him, but it was a learning experience I think, for all of us.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And at the end of the day, I'm very pleased the way it turned out, and even more so with what you're gonna hear.
so look into that special announcement. I feel like.
Well, that's coming.
Yeah.
But there's several items. So the workshop, Tony, Councilman Fernandez, Tony,
Vice Mayor.
Vice Mayor
One of
Fernandez,
those.
made statements that hit the nail on the head. And Tom Fabricio's, they were Fabricio's closing statements, made
Really?
statements that I had no idea what they meant, and the.
Oh, Paga.
No idea, and when we went to his office afterwards, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? So Stephen and Tom then informed me, educated me. That it's a body, it's a legislative body in Tallahassee. We're going it with a grant, through a grant, and they do investigations, and to create bills that are proper. But they also investigating things that people say to the elected officials.
Oh,
So if the legwork is being done, then that legwork can be used in multiple avenues. So, and that's why, hey,
Hey, how are you?
welcome.
Thank you.
So with that investigation done, a lot of things can come out, and it's all leading into proper regulations, and it's also proving and showing that what we're experiencing is not proper. So with that, oh, well, let me just go in order. So that happened. While we were in Tallahassee, I got a call from Channel 23 reporter that they're gonna be in Miami Lakes this afternoon. And we're gonna film live street interviews about blasting. We want to interview you, be here. Like, I'm sorry, I'm in Tallahassee now with the crew. This is happening. So we called immediately, called Rudy, who was here, called Angelo, get down there. Subsequent to that, Mayor Sid called me that he was interviewed, and advised, which you guys saw the interview when he said, which is all fantastic. I mean, this is as big as it gets to date, what we've done thus far. So the topic is being hammered at every angle possible. The write-ups that you're doing, the exposure you're providing is incredible. I mean, I can't express it enough. Thank you. There's no other words that amount to what you're doing. Thank you.
I finally earned it. Well, he said on the first time I ever met him, why won't you help me? And I looked up and I go, how the hell would I be able to help? But I finally figured it out.
You did, you're doing it. So, that being said, I have some news for you guys.
Here it is, special announcement. Dun, da, da, da.
Yeah, that.
He's resigning, he's gonna go work with the mic.
$60 million bill.
So working my.
Good shot.
That's.
Well, kind of.
Wow.
I've been offered, the reason we are here today. My wife's not here, so she's on her way actually. The reason we're here today is because You guys have seen the picture of my living room with the ceiling collapse and a roof tile gone through, and what I went through personally. That night that happened, I have a wood shop in my garage, and I have a shop vac. It's a 30-gallon shop vac, 6 horsepower, good size shop vac, wet vac. My wife and I spent the night fighting the storm and getting water out of our house with that shop vac. And we emptied the shop vac 23 times that night. You can multiply 23 times 6 gallons.
Oh,
That's how much water out of the shop vac. The water percolated under the tile, destroyed my kitchen, the cabinets, destroyed the house. This is the reason why my house has gone through everything that it's gone through. However, the face that my wife gave me of desperation that night while our son was sleeping is not something I'll forget. That is burned in my memory to no other. Give her my word, I'm gonna get down to the bottom of this. I'm gonna do something about it. And I've been doing that. That was 2017, and we're up to 2024 now. I do that because I have to take care of my family. The family comes from no matter what, and this is where it comes from. So with that, at my age and where I'm at in life, I'm at what I call the top of the seventh inning. I need to start preparing for my retirement. I need to start preparing for the future, whatever it holds. And I have been offered a job, and I accepted a job working at the county.
oh,
Unfortunately, the county deems this body as a conflict of interest of what we do. And what we've done, what we've created, and the momentum that we have, politically. We've done stuff, we've done damage to the machine. And I'm proud to say it, I'm proud of everybody here. I have taught and shared my knowledge and my experience, that it's abstract for somebody that's not in what I do, in my world. I've learned from them. I can't thank this crew enough, beyond proud of everybody in this room, everybody. So unfortunately, I've submitted my resignation
oh.
for this.
So
What's
I
your,
hope they did not offer you the job to take you out of this.
No, it's two separate things, two separate things. As a matter of fact, the email that you sent me of my largest, readership was an article.
3,000 people are reading everything you write.
Well, that particular article, it was a meeting I had with, is my big boss, and he's the one who informed me of that, look into this. So they are very supportive. Unfortunately, there's other aspects involved in what we do that I have to address it. So unfortunately, my family comes first, is the bottom line.
understood.
So with all due respect to everybody, and my apologies, but.
What's your official title for your new position?
It's starting in code enforcement.
Oh, okay.
So it's,
Related at all to any damages for blasting?
no, no, it's.
So that would be a
it's more related
conflict
to-
of interest.
He's
That's a hearing
gonna,
officer.
he's gonna enforce the code, so we have to repair all of those.
Damages.
They put them on the other side.
Well, there's two types of violations I learned today. Work without permit and failure to maintain. So this falls under failure to maintain,
Okay.
but that's it,
I
unrelated to
can
this.
just imagine the insult and the injury if you come to my house and knock and go, you know what, all this crap you gotta fix."
It's more related to me as a hearing officer
Okay,
and all the hearing. courts, we
Aspects
call them
of
courts,
it,
the different
yeah.
Courts that I.
It won't
serve
be
in.
at all helpful in any way to the situation for the blasting. What you're doing for the county
that's separate
doesn't
and
have
apart.
any way that would be helpful to us.
The cause.
Yeah,
At this moment, I'm not gonna say yes or no. I will say, I don't think so. But I'll leave it at that because of the department I'm dealing with. They were at the meeting, at the presentations with that I've done with the workshop, not the workshop, so it's the one that we had at the County Call Miami.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Town, the town, hall.
Yeah.
They were all there.
I think your engineering knowledge and the technical aspects of what you showed, at least in the presentation I saw there at the country club, was so informative and so well presented, and I think they probably admired your talent at this, and that's
I appreciate it, I appreciate it.
Well, I'm sure it didn't help that Mayor, I mean, I'm sure it helped that Mayor Cravo was also there. She knows all about it.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
happened
the
was,
news, everybody
Rep Fabricio, when he advised me, I said, I start work on Monday. I can't go. to Tallahassee."
Monday, you started working?
I started today, was my first day.
Oh.
So Fabricio called the mayor's office and said, you gotta get Miguel released from work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's supposed to be last week. I was supposed to start last week. And I got a call on Saturday from the county. What are you doing? What's going on? I'm like, I just got found out last night. I mean, you can't hold this. It's like, you overstep everybody. That you had the mayor call. I said, I didn't have the mayor call. That was the state rep with the mayor. Don't put me in that. I'm involved. I'm doing what you guys should have done, that you didn't. Let's not forget this. And it was an interesting conversation. And it was an all-day thing, back and forth, back and forth. And then I negotiated with them to postpone my start date and allow me to go to Tallahassee, or I will not accept this offer.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that, Miguel.
And they said, postpone this, or I don't accept your offer, or postpone it, and I start a week later. So it's not a conflict because I'm not an employee of the county. And they agreed to that. So I started today, after we returned. That being said, here's some bigger news.
Yeah.
I get a call, I'm getting chilled on. I get a call from Tallahassee. From the CFO's representative, the inspector actually. And he says to me, Martinez, I don't know what's going on down there, what you guys have done. But I've never seen so much movement since I've been working with the CFO for you guys.
Wow.
That the lady, the supervisor, the one,
Jones?
not Julie Jones, the other one, the one who presented.
You represented. Oh,
She goes, she called me up. And what the hell is going on down there? Now, last night, since my presentation didn't make it on the floor, I made sure they got all the good points. And I took the videos and everything that was edited out and I submitted them. But as State Rep Fabricio advised me, keep your emails short.
Yeah.
Lengthy emails don't get read. They have a short attention
I
span.
don't.
No,
I kept it to 5 sentences.
yeah, in theory, for any kind of.
I kept it to 5 sentences and I broke it up into 4 emails. So I thanked them, and following this, you're gonna have some information. And I sent a video that we couldn't show, which shows what I described what debonding is, masonry and steel. And here it is, example of it. And this is an actual blast. You could take the timestamp and look it up. So it was a cause and effect, item by item. With that, she is the supervisor of the blasting industry for the CFO, under the CFO. So she's basically under Julie Jones. She's the deputy CFO, Julie Jones. This lady is a supervisor under her. She's gonna be coming down here and investigating what's going on. So she's actually gonna have going to the mine, and then it's gonna be touring the area, and has advised at the workshop, they stated that they already are installing 5 new seismographs in addition to the 23 that they have. But I'm finding out they're gonna install 20 more. So they're gonna have a whole network of seismographs to get the data that we've been saying, you gotta look at your own equipment. Because they're ignoring the data of their own equipment.
When she comes down, will one of the committee be able to go around with her?
Well, that's one of the things we're gonna be discussing right now.
That will be very important. to have done.
Yeah, that's news to
Yeah.
us. Go ahead.
This is as huge as it gets.
Right.
And it looks like they're finally gonna address the matter. Let's see what comes out of it. But again, the CFO has the power of the pen, and all the problem is gone. And he's decided not to do that. But if within the data that we presented to them is their own data, we used it against them. I think that was beyond damning. So what are you guys' thoughts?
Well, if you can no longer have anything to do with this group for your job, who's gonna go around with the people that are going to the investigation?
Yeah.
And if Stephen has to resign because he's running for office, they're taking like the best hitter and the best
The
picture
brains.
out of the game, so what?
Well, one, I mean, I'm going to figure out a way to be on the board as long as possible. Right now, my understanding is until August, but there might be a way to stay on a little bit longer, potentially depending on, I gotta look at the town rules again, because there's a way to say.
Well, I actually asked one of the council members to change the rules. This is a very highly technical thing. It shouldn't have anything to do with.
Right, well,
Whether
obviously,
you're not
if you're on the
influencing.
council, you can't sit on the committee, right? But, yes, I understand that part, but there might be a way to make it a very limited time frame. Assuming, hopefully, I do get on the council, then, of course, it would be back on the committee, but I.
You know, when she goes to the mines, the mining industry,
Right.
they're gonna have a rep there giving
Of course.
his speech.
Well, that's, I
So,
guess,
couldn't Miguel go even just as a concerned citizen? I mean, he doesn't have to go in his
right,
official.
I mean, that's
Capacity.
up to Miguel and his comfort level. Obviously, I'm more than willing to do it, or anybody else on the board. I would hope that Representative Fabricio will be made aware when that happens. I know he would come down and be part of it, and when the town, I would imagine and hope the town would be aware of it and have someone from the town also be a part of it, or even multiple members
Yeah.
who, put out the sunshine notice and have the meeting, have it done. I guess we need more details.
Miguel knows all the scientific data and details about it, which I think was the ultimate important thing to get across to a person like that that's coming.
Are you able to be like an unofficial consultant off the record? Yeah, like with no legal title, no.
Yeah,
no
I-
technical-
That's what I was gonna.
I have boundaries, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would, obviously, he has his rights to do as he wish, but when you are a government official, you do limit yourself
There's limits.
in First Amendment rights, even though, because you're accepting the job as a government. So they are allowed to limit what he does outside in his personal life.
It's
So
cool.
that is something risky.
Well, the key about Miguel is not only that he knows the technical speak, but that when they try to bamboozle us with their technical speak, he sees
knows.
through. Because sometimes they say things and I literally write back and I go, Miguel, what? And he goes, no, if you think about it, and I go, what? So that's the key. The key is, they can start speaking and I will be like,
Well, Stephen, when we met to prepare for, Stephen had brought information from their own website. And their website is supporting their argument that they didn't damage.
that was awesome.
And I was able to educate Stephen and I will say, respectfully, Stephen understands the concepts of what, when we're discussing things, he's getting it. That most people cannot. It's very abstract. And one of the big ones was the chart that they showed of the hammering nails and the hair dryer and all these things
That was
is
brilliant.
more damaging than this. I said, Stephen, look at the measurement of units that they're showing. It's decibels, and that's sound.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant. If you look at what they quote from the study in, not Malaysia, I forgot what, it was another country.
Tunisia.
Tunisia. It's so small, you can't read it, but since it's on the internet, you can just enlarge your screen and copy paste it. That's how, on his presentation, we got it. I said, it's Tunisia. It's irrelevant here. And this is what they're presenting to you, elected officials. So it was very damning.
I
So
was thinking out loud, all the notes that you've compiled over the years that you've been here, are you able to transition those notes over to the next chair, so to speak, in terms of
They're all in the
findings that
group.
you've had and everything you've had?
well, you
They're
haven't
all
joined
in
her.
Citizens United.
You haven't joined her.
to-
I'm a 3 cents kind of guy.
Yeah, so you're not gonna get my 180 gigs of brain of memory of data.
Are you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I mean, you have all of it, I think, and I think you as a private individual can easily just email or send us a link to everything you think is important, and then I have my own, share file that everything I have on the Blasting Advisory Board, and I think that's one of the goals before I have to leave the board is to have all that organized. Another goal for all of us is to figure out, who else, we believe is a good person, good people to add to the board, because we have at least one leaving now, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said it before in town council meetings, no one in the state has done more in the issue than you have. That needs to be made clear. There's no way to get the progress that we've gotten, without you. And then the help from Representative Fabricio's office, that little, not little, it's an hour, but that hour meeting was years in the making.
Yeah.
To get that. in
That's the other
agenda.
thing to take note of.
And
Fabricio's,
the
4 years of his work.
The politics involved to get an agenda, unless it's something that the governor really wants or some big hot political issue. The politics involved to kind of an agenda are eye-opening when you realize how much work has to go on. And to get the industry to go on the record in front of the committee showing this is our position is huge. Because now we know what their position is, and now they know what our position is. And I mean, like I said it there, hammer nails and dumping on the bed, or making explosions in the ground, which side are you gonna take? So I think it was really beneficial, and a lot of that was because of your work, you started well before the representative, you came to meet with him and to really push this issue. But for a transition, we need to think, because we need to have more people on this board that take this seriously. I like to think that I do grasp the main concepts pretty well. You'll be there. You're not disappearing, but I'll leave it at that. I understand you don't really want to say much
Right.
more about the role after.
So that's what I leave for you guys. My apologies, and I'm beyond proud of what this group has done. There's no words. There's no words.
Keep thinking of that song, you picked a fine time to leave me.
Lucille.
No, you're not really leaving, I mean.
No, you guys gotta carry the water now, because you're dealing with my house. And you're gonna deal with me if you don't have it, so. Now you all know me, so I'm gonna come down on you guys. But that's, 2024 is gonna be a big year for all of us in different lights. And for my family, I don't know what's gonna come of it, but we're excited for this year. There's gonna be a lot of changes happening, a lot of changes.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bottles of champagne for everyone.
I got you pastelitos, yeah, you got some.
Yeah, a good kind of gratulatory champagne.
Is there anything you want to discuss about where we see anything changing this year, or maybe we didn't discuss at all the OPAGA issue? You want to discuss that a little bit?
You wanna, your,
I mean, my understanding is that now that the issue came before the committee, the representative can use this, I don't want to call it agency, but this wing of the legislator to conduct a study. I think it's primarily legal analysis that they do, but based off, now that's been presented and it's been on the record, he can request up the study from them to provide further support for his bill, which really would tend to mean that the bill most likely would not be pushing forward this session. If that's.
Well, I researched their website and it's fascinating because every issue that they have investigated in the past, they have the whole research right there. So you just click on it, you can download it, you can do whatever. And it's some of the stuff, it's like everything. I feel like I've been going to school ever since I met Miguel. It's just like you start reading these things and what,
So
yeah.
he made that comment at the end of the presentation when the chair let him, wrap everything up. So I believe that will be a request. So probably make this session. I have no idea how the request is made. But I assume the request will be made, and that will be beneficial for trying to really push this thing. And as the representative goes up the chain in leadership and different positions, it puts them in a better position to get bills passed. But the information you just shared about the CFO's office now seeming to take this seriously and bringing over some administrator, a high-level administrator is great news.
it's multiple angles that this is being attacked, which is what I've always said this issue has to be addressed with. It's not one solution. Everybody's constantly harping, oh, the rep, what letter is after his name, and that's why it works or it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. You have no idea what you're saying. And frankly, I've been fed up with all of that. That's not the issue of this. So the issue, they have created an existence right now, the industry, that is beyond genius. And I can't congratulate them enough in what they created. It's a monster what they've done. And it has to be stopped. So my take has always been, as I was raised by my father, is education is the key. So you're always saying about, education, yeah, that's how we were raised. That, that's what's gonna make you better than the next person, no more than them. And we always teach our son, the strongest muscle in the body is the brain, period.
And the most important real estate on the planet is between here and here. I
So,
don't know.
we live this every day. So this is why and how where I came from, what's transpired. And that is why I run this body as the same. And I educated this body, what's going on. And obviously it's at a level where it's understandable. When I speak with the professor as an example, really was that a conversation. He had brought the professor from FAU and the professor from UM and myself in the lobby of my office. And we got into a discussion that I was beyond blown away. The term, Millie comes out, what are you guys talking about? I don't understand, like, not even a period, in a sentence. So it's a level that everybody needs to be able to understand what's happening and it's not communication, it's not just speaking, it's hearing and understanding. And that's what this has evolved into, which again, I'm proud of the whole concept, the whole thing that we've done. So I can't thank you guys enough. But something's gonna happen now. This is gonna be our year.
I can't thank you because I
Thank you.
never knew anything about any of this. And to hear all of the things that are happening because of these supercharged blasts is just, it blew my mind. I mean, thank God I'm
No pun
not
intended.
affected. I mean, I'm here because I have empathy for the people that are suffering this. This is so unjust.
It is. It's an absolute crime. There's no word. It's an absolute crime. And it being allowed to happen, allowed to exist. And it's based on not whole truths. So, you're saying they're lying? No, they just didn't tell you the whole truth.
That goes on all the time in the media when you see certain
Absolutely.
things happening in the world, and we only get part of the story.
I stopped watching the news. They spent 5 hours with me, Channel 7. And they put about 10 seconds. It was 2 seconds of me and 10 seconds of the entire thing that's been done. And what they talked about was insignificant of what was presented to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's their agenda.
Because they're wasting your life.
Right.
Can you all share the website for Opaka?
But I
Yeah,
will send you everything.
Okay. OPPA.
GA.
GA. So I wish you guys the best.
No, congratulations, Miguel, you've earned it.
Congratulations
by
on
your
all
hard
3
work.
years.
So this is your last meeting?
Yes, ma'am. For the time being.
Yeah, because he officially accepted the job with the county.
I accepted the job.
He accepted the job, so.
There may be some nuances that may occur. I can't share that yet, but I will say. Knock on wood.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for you.
Unfortunately, yeah, both of us, for that matter.
And Stephen, you're gonna be running for another position, is my
No,
understanding?
he's running for office.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
office?
council member.
Oh, council.
Here.
Yeah, we will vote him in.
So
not a
obviously, my understanding of the rules is I would have to resign by qualifying period, which is
Okay.
in August, so I still have some time.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna make a request to the town clerk to see, based off the way the law reads.
Right.
That if it's possible to make a resignation effective as of a certain date and continue on through until the election date, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure that works, that's
Works,
how it
right.
works for the town council, I'm not sure if that's how it works for committee members, or there might be a different
Yeah.
town rule or something different in the town charter about it, I'm not sure, I gotta read it. But I'll make that request to the clerk so we can try to have some continuation with this big change, right? And then we all, that goes to you guys too. Anyone you're aware of that would make a good member of this board where, you know, it's, like I said, it's not bike rides and charity events. It is
highly technical.
technical, legal lobbying work, really. This team. has
Well, we know
been
that I would
a lot
never
of-
be able to be part of it.
No, I know, but you. I
I
understand
will
that.
never obey sunshine law. Ask my
Oh,
husband
then
if
yes,
he
you
takes
definitely
sunshine
can't
law
be
and
part
stick
of
with
it.
the sunshine.
Which is fine, which you've been a great help regardless. I mean, the Senator Garcia meeting, that was huge. Yeah, and we got that because of you persisting to get that meeting. And I don't even, I mean, I didn't speak to you about it. Whoever you, adding the blasting thing on the meeting and giving the senator, the senator gave us 20-30 minutes of his time on this. And then we got a meeting with the lead lobbyist 2 days later. That was huge.
That's crazy.
And-
But I didn't even know that he did cafecitos with Renee, so I just showed up at the, I went right at him, everybody was like waiting in line, I go, one line? I was right for him, and I go, I've got to see you, and here's the meeting.
You deal with this every day?
Absolutely. And that was it, so he said, okay, we'll see you all done.
And that's what we need from people like you, right? But if you know of anybody, all the people you're in contact with, family members, coworkers, whatever, because we do need some.
Yeah, but they have to be in this area
No,
Not
or work
necessarily.
in this area.
No.
not for this committee.
This committee has an exception.
Well, Miguel is not.
Yeah, Miguel, Francisco, they both don't live in Miami. Like, this committee has an exception due to it being more of a technical and lobbying effort. That you don't have to necessarily live in Miami Lakes. It's definitely
So,
potentially
yeah,
better.
what architects do you know that, would understand what you're talking about and be part of this group? You're the one that probably.
I don't know, my business has been supporting other architects and engineers. I'm the back office support, that's my company. And they hire me because of my knowledge and.
But you've gone to groups where you oversee problems that come to the courts. And
Correct,
so therefore, who's there with you that
and
understands?
that's what I'm saying, I haven't seen anybody that,
Um,
Alicia's probably the next in line.
why would you have a conflict of interest?
I'm an architect, but I can, certain things.
Yeah, she was the rep, so. But she has her own, you know.
No, but she works for the state.
Right,
Right.
but she's an architect, so she understands this, the information I give you
I
guys.
understand his lingo.
She's always winking at me like, okay, I'm saying it.
Wow.
But, yeah, there's more work to be done, obviously, and to continue with different angles, but, I have my, aspirations that this is gonna continue proper, and then it will terminate properly, because this committee is not meant to be long-term. It's meant to find a solution. Done. So,
Well, let's hope that by your absence, it doesn't die.
I expect not, I hope not.
No, we're going to try, we're going to. Regardless of if I'm here or if I'm granted the opportunity to represent the town, I don't want that happening. And next year is a
You
very,
mentioned about the,
very big year
The
based
speaker?
off everything that's happened.
Speaker of the House, Danny Perez.
yeah, you're gonna say what you did?
I'm in contact with him and everything else. He saw the video, the Speaker of the House. He saw that whole thing, so that's gonna be very interesting too. Like, they contacts with him, so they see if we could do something with it too. It's very powerful, extremely powerful. So that would be interesting too.
Yeah, that would be a huge help.
That would be a huge help.
We do have a Miami-Dade, representative who will be Speaker of the House next session, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can help us.
Daniel Perez.
Well, he's already spoken to him, so he's aware of it.
We'll see if that's a help or not.
So have you met him?
We have,
Yeah.
Oh, he has.
we met with his aide in November.
Yeah.
We met with one of his aides.
He did say he lives in Miami Lakes.
No, he lives down in like Carl Gables. They're all down. So
Yeah, but there was an aide that lived here.
It wasn't.
Yes. There was another- well, he did,
Somebody else.
yeah.
Yes, there was somebody else in that.
Somebody.
So, yeah, I mean, we're gonna keep pushing, but I think one of the things that you'll hear people say, oh, it's dead again, it's, nothing ever happens. because of the political pressure, because of the possibility of the bill being pushed forward, because of a even greater possibility of the bill being pushed forward next session, because that's why the CFO's office is taking this seriously. Because the CFO's office, of course, he's an elected representative and he's supposed to work for the constituents, but he gets lobbied just like any other representative. And it's no secret, they've been more on the side of the miners in the past
Just a bit.
20 years.
Just
Uh,
To say the least.
So to push political pressure on them requires what Representative Fabricio does. Because they have to listen to whatever the legislator says. The CFO can't disregard the law. Right now, he says, I'm following what the law says, it gives me authority of this.
But there's
it
something
applies,
really
etc.
wrong when somebody can disregard the law.
Well, he can't. If the legislation passes, he has to follow the law. He's only authorized by what the legislators let him do it, right? Basis on anybody. So that's why you see I think, at least that the CFO's office taking this very seriously. They bring a fairly high-ranking person to present.
Yeah.
And now that person's coming down 90 legs.
But the bill is wonderful, and I'm not saying that it isn't, but in Florida statute right now, there is limitations to blasphemy.
Right,
And it is in his hands,
right.
and therefore, the fact that they're not going beyond the limit, he is not following the law.
Right, his position is not because it's only a limit within the UDB.
Is that blast occurs outside UDB.
So he's saying, I don't have to regulate that blast. That blast can basically be whatever I want.
Right.
Because it's outside the UDB lines. So I'm only regulating blasts that are within urban development boundary, which is a terrible law, don't get me wrong, because the urban development means I can build a house here, the blast can be right next door, I have, 10 feet.
You can't do
between me,
anything,
and I can
and you
bring
can't do
that out.
anything about it.
It's a terrible law, but that is his position on what the law, and that is what the law says.
Hey,
So we need to change the law.
good, we're in the committee meeting now. You wanna say something on the speaker? All right. I'll call you back then. All right.
So, but to get action from the CFO's office, you can't just do nothing on the legislative side. So if this is, action comes from political pressure. Political pressures come from Representative Fabricio's bills and, I mean, it was our lobbying efforts. The county got involved 2 weeks ago,
Right.
so nobody else has been doing this.
No,
So what
it's us.
becomes of the status of Fabricio's bill now? Because I had asked Miguel, are they gonna vote on it? What's gonna happen to it? Where does that stand now?
Another committee,
Right.
because this was a workshop, it has to go to the committee reviews it, and then they take a vote.
Oh, so there is gonna be voted on.
I mean, I don't know if it's.
That's
No,
Okay,
there's
that's what it
there's
is.
not- there's
That's what I'm
no
saying, that's what I'm
activity
asking.
since January 9th. I look at that bill every day, there are no activities since January 9th.
No, they're wrapping up, there's some committees, like the ethics, which, Fabricio is the chair. He, I think that was the last meeting a couple of weeks ago, so some committees already wrapping up with us. There's a limit that each representative can only submit 7 bills.
And so you passed that limit already?
I have to check, but I know that bill, the water blasting,
Yeah.
it's 245.
245, right?
So I have to check who else, what, I think there's 2 or 3 committees that have to review it.
Okay,
So, but if you go to the website, you can check the status of the bill and who's reviewing it. So it's.
so it's, yeah, that was House Bill 245.
I don't expect that bill this session to make it through.
Right, that's what you.
There's just not enough time
Well,
left in
I
the session.
received an email saying that Councilman Joshua Diegues wrote that the Senate bill as well as the House bill were both dead. That's exactly what he wrote.
I mean, I don't know if it's officially, dead, but that is my understanding of where we go, but that doesn't mean that what happens is fruitless. Because getting an hour before the committee that this bill will go in front of next year, 100%. Representative Fabricio's filed his bill every year. It has been his first filed bill. You go to his office, he has the list of his bills and his
Yeah,
appropriations
blasting is
project.
number one,
It's
right?
number one, and he always, everyone we speak to says, oh, yes, Fabricio, I know, the blasting, I know the blast. That is that is the focus of it. So it looks like it probably won't go through committee this year. But we had the workshop, He's going to get the study, request for the study to be done. Now we have the CFO's office with pressure. I mean, there were, I don't know how many people were there. After our presentation, the committee room emptied out,
Then
right? This was, there were a
we were
lot,
five.
right?
Five was us and the room was packed.
So the pressure's there to get something done, whether it's going to be the CFO's office figuring something out to tell these guys to stop, or else I believe it will be legislation, because at some point, enough is enough. And again, unfortunately or fortunately, whichever way we look at it, politics plays a big role in it. As a representative becomes more senior and has chairmanships and whatnot, he will have the ability to make sure this bill gets heard. And I think once it gets heard, I think it's a no-brainer.
Right.
And I think the miners know that. You saw the question and answers
Yeah.
from the representatives. Two of those representatives, we had great meetings with Rep. Manning and Rep. Valdez. We had phenomenal meetings with them.
Great.
And they provided very good
Anna,
questions.
something or another, she's a Democrat. She
And again,
is constantly writing to me, no.
No, the one from
Anna-
Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Miss
on
Anna.
LinkedIn, she's connected with me, and she really is. There's something, she's very interested, and she's the one that asked.
Yeah, she had questions too.
Very.
And she's well,
Exactly.
she's well known, let's put it at that.
Yeah, I think she's very vocal.
Very vocal.
Yes.
Right.
But if this isn't a partisan issue, I don't see, no one side should take a side on this. I think the miners know if it's actually went to committee vote. And we have Representative Parisa there explaining everything. We have testimony. Well, why would you, what's the no vote? The miners provided their strongest argument. Oh, you're going to make a disaster of our economy and the building and this. We completely destroyed that when we showed them that. Even for the mines that we're complaining about, 50% of their blasts are under the levels we're asking for. So where's, this isn't going to destroy anything.
Plain hoping. No, it's just.
You're watching a show?
Like, talking about.
I know that theme.
So we'll see. All I'm saying is that it's assuming the bill does not move forward, that's not a defeat based on how this works, and with the news from the CFO's office, it shows that maybe there's some push on the other.
There's appetite here for change. Now, I also understand, everybody's harping on a bill. It doesn't necessarily have to go in the direction of a bill to get what we want. Same as what Senator Garcia did,
Exactly.
We got what we wanted,
You-
and it wasn't with the resolution, that was the proposed thing. And we still got what we wanted, so it can be another way of doing, there's more one way to skin a cat. And it may be just that way. So we'll see how things pan out, but the push needs to continue.
Yeah.
By the way, that is the thing that is the most admirable of the two of you. You have gone through so much,
Yeah.
and you're hopeful,
Yeah.
and you see, good, positive things, even in the most difficult of circumstances, and with all of the people on Facebook saying, no, this is dead, whatever. So I.
The ones that keep saying that, do nothing.
It's not that.
So I think it's
You think it's gonna go anywhere this session. I didn't think he said that. I got an
the
email
bill is dead.
message that
It's
said,
dead in the
did
water.
he say dead?
Yeah.
I just thought he said it wasn't didn't look like it was gonna go anywhere.
That is being dead.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the meaning of dead means.
Well. This session.
This session.
Maybe the bill may get somewhere
And
later.
I'll reiterate, in fairness,
Very similar.
I know we're talking about myself and Steven, but it is a group effort here. And you guys are included. Everybody's doing their part. Even Francesca, she drew a little circle around the thing. It was impressive. It was like a dream. John spoke, he's very eloquently, at the CFO's office that I was taken aback. Everybody's doing their stuff. Rudy has contacts and information that this is a group effort.
Oh, Rudy's the one who got us the meeting with Rep. Valdez. He
Yes.
just went straight up to it. That was an impromptu meeting,
Um,
which is some of the best ones we can get.
So this is, I won't take the credit alone, and I'm not gonna let Steven take the credit alone. And this is a group effort across the board. Absolutely. So again, thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you.
Just a question for the town, do we just ask the chair to put in an election for next vice chair, how does that
Your
work?
charge.
This is the send to your next, so then you can do the elections.
No, I think we'll add it. I think it's appropriate to add the next one, yeah. But that's your job.
But yeah, the vice chair would have to.
Rudy, can we all get in line and kiss the ring?
I like that.
So as a reminder, and you need to submit the agenda to me 3 business days before the next meeting date, yeah.
If you just make sure to send out like a week reminder, and maybe you can.
You guys meet, your next meeting is Monday, March 18th.
Channel 23.
So your agenda would be due the 13th.
So that means it's
You wanna talk about that?
Yeah, community.
The 13th is when the agenda would be due.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Channel 23 is gonna be interviewing you guys.
For the next meeting?
I miss you.
Don't worry.
I'll watch on TV. With a beer in a hand and.
And then you would add elections under the agenda.
If you can just send him a word.
I can send
Or send, or you can.
one of the
send-
last ones.
Yeah, just send him so he has the working
The
draft.
template, yeah.
I always take good.
Yeah.
This was the old and then whatever.
Yeah.
You think of.
No, after this meeting, you can speak to him all you want, because there's no more sunshine.
Be convenient.
Easy thing.
All right,
Yeah, I don't know.
anything else?
Do you want to talk a little bit about the coverage, the Channel 23 coverage on the next meeting and stuff?
Channel 23 will be interviewing the committee members, next month. They're gonna try to be here today, but they couldn't get a camera, they couldn't get coordinated. So they advised me for next month, and we'll be here, interview you guys. I'll just watch. I'm gonna get your autograph or something afterwards.
That's for the weekend.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know, basically.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So can you be involved as a resident or?
I'm not, I have boundaries.
It's called cell phones. These things are, star 69 them and that's it.
A lot of text messages. Well, what's
No text messages are Tracy. The spoken word.
encrypted WhatsApp? Yeah,
There you go.
Burner phone.
There you go.
That's it.
That's unjust. That's unjust.
You gotta give Miguel a burger.
Go to the payphone.
All right, anything else? We're good, have a motion?
Thank you.
Hey, there she is.
It's all her fault.
Have any words?
Anything to say? She came up with the All right, so, meeting adjourned then.
Motion or no?
Motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Ideal.